Welcome back to AV Veterans Talk, and we're continuing our conversation with this week's guest, Jeff Sheldon. So, Jeff, we're back, and boy, I love in between breaks as we find out all this cool stuff and the toys that all you
tools.
The tools.
Toys are something that you play with.
I'm such a
I
simple
do
guy,
stuff.
you know. And you intellects. Here I am, and I'm listening to you intellects. And I think man, I'm just way down there on the bottom of the chart.
I still have my. We were talking about computer stuff. I still have my Commodore 64. Thing works. I actually found a device where I can take all my old stacks of floppies from my Commodore 64, and it emulates the floppy disk reader, and you can take everything you have and stick it on one SD card, play all your Commodore stuff. Oh.
There you go. And see, I'm the guy who's still walking around with a flip phone, and people think I go out and get in the Flintstone car and paddle my feet.
My
and make
favorite
it go.
Luddite. Yep.
Yeah. So, anyway, back to subject matter here. We live in a cantankerous world, and we always look at our service to our country. And you volunteered. A lot of us. Let's face it, from 72 on, I think we're all volunteer
Right.
Army in the United States here, and the young men and women, and you've interacted with a lot of them, and you're a member of the church where we honor our veterans and remember them every year at specific times and things like that. But your take on the struggles of the military today and where we are. What do you, obviously, what we think of our young people, we hold them high, but how can we do better as a nation?
I know we need a lot of work with the VA.
Yes.
That needs it needs a good thorough flushing out and redoing.
Yeah.
But I am happy to see when I came back, it was just you could hear crickets.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But now there's all over throughout media, there's talk about PTSD, and there's talk about people having your back, and there's organizations that you can get to, and I think that's wonderful. I think that's a beautiful thing that we have now that there wasn't prior to this. And I know I don't. You got the Vietnam veterans that came back, and they went through
Absolutely.
horrible, and then we had crickets, and now, but things are starting to, I think, to move in the right direction. I think even though there's some folks out there that don't really appreciate the sacrifice that people make, I think there's more and more awareness and concern. I think things are moving in a positive direction.
I do too, and I'm still a little more concerned about the generation, like previous guest was talking about, the millennials and how living in their parents' home and stuff. They don't understand. We're not back like we used to do, or I used to do, when we traveled to the schools and we interact World War II vets with students, and to get them to understand the like Pearl Harbor or something like that, what that means and things like that. They don't grasp that. So when they see a current serving soldier, they don't understand that soldier. And I go, we have those that do, we have those that don't. Is there going to be a time in the future when the I don'ts, lose, connection with that service?
Had you asked me a few months ago, I think I would have been a little more concerned. I think we're on a precipice right now, where things might turn around a little better.
Yeah, I think stuff. Once again, the change of dynamics in our nation right now. I'm hoping that I hope the reboot of the VA is taken seriously, and realizing the enormity of the job of taking it out of the realm of there's so many good people that can serve in a capacity to make the VA great, make it great. But then you have that mindset of where it becomes just the red tape government thing, and we deal with those veterans that struggle.
The idea that somebody dies waiting for treatment, that's just,
I don't get it.
But I mean, you know, you let the government control anything. It's the DMV wherever you go. So
I know, and that's what a lot of people have a hard time grasping. And you know, the other thing that I find disheartening, like in so many things in society, is the mindset is you just have to throw big handfuls of money at something to fix it. It's more like it's the people, getting the quality, the good people involved that have a vision and understand the dynamics of what really needs to happen there is the key to success. So
I don't know how political we want to get, but I like the idea of somebody from business
yeah,
running things.
yeah,
I've seen so much of the government. It was the same mentality as in Soviet Russia. There's no incentive to excel.
yeah.
I mean, you got your job. You got your job forever. You're going to sit there and whether you do work through 2 folders in a
Build
day
your
or you go
widgets.
through 50.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping house gets cleaned.
Yeah.
I really am, and that.
Well, you know, so, yeah, like I said, I really don't do politics, but when we talk about the VA in protect, you know, in that context, you know, it's fine to talk about that because we hope and pray that happens. I do hope that we turn a corner here and we start getting more acceptance to take a lot of our veterans programs and stuff back to younger people in school to start the education, because the history that we're teaching to our schools and our young people and stuff is really lacking
Right.
nowadays, and you see it in a lot of the way our culture is perceived. You know, the 24-hour news cycles has its good sides, but you know, it's like the jaywalking or the man on the street interviews where you go like, oh my gosh, you know, we just take it for granted. We know that stuff. It's just like we don't even have to think about that answer, and then you have people going like, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. And
I like seeing my daughter. We didn't have it when I was in school, but my daughter's part of the ROTC, Air Force ROTC. But
yeah, that's okay.
That I think that brings some awareness to the kids. I think that's a step in the right direction.
Well, here in the Antelope Valley, the amount of participation in the ROTC programs at all the schools is stunning.
Yeah.
The amount of involvement there, and it's great to see. Sometimes I'll be driving home from down Lancaster Boulevard there, coming down stuff, and I'll see the students getting out from Lancaster High School, and I'll see the students, and then I'll see a sharp-dressed young ROTC cadet, you know, and taking pride, and that gives me a good feeling.
My daughter's favorite thing. It's her favorite class, hands down.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, the things the skills that it's taught her, the attention to detail and that kind of thing.
Awesome.
She never would have had it before, but she takes pride. She's in there with.
Yeah.
She hasn't asked me to show her how to shine the shoes and do all this stuff and get her creases right, and she's in there ironing, and she loves it.
Well, she's living off your DNA, which is the Sea Cadets or whatever, you know, and stuff, and it's building for her future. So, well, anyway, I need to thank you for coming in today.
My pleasure.
And sitting down and shooting the breeze with us and seeing what we got going on here. And I always love to share stories like you and the intelligence stuff. And we didn't give up any trade secrets.
Nope.
I was always looking for some skinny on a president or something like that. No, so. But you wouldn't share it anyway. Would you? So, and you know, thank your dad for his service to our country, and we thank you for your service to the country, and we'll catch up with you down the road there.
Sounds
and,
good.
We're good. So, thanks,
Perfect.
Jeff.
My pleasure.
Sure. I'm Bob Alvis, and thanks for joining us for this segment of AV Veterans Talk.